We're wrapping up cherry season for 2025, and there's one thing I haven't done with cherries yet. You know, we've made charcuterie and different desserts and drinks and whatnot with cherries this year. I have yet to freeze dry them, and I've been wanting to taste freeze-dried cherries for quite some time. I've heard mixed reviews. Some say it was good, some say it wasn't worth it. Well, in today's episode, we're going to find out for ourselves because you know how much I love freeze-drying fruit. Today, we're freeze-drying cherries. Let's do it.
As far as preparation goes, the only thing that I'm going to do is pit the cherries. So I got this little sausage pitter from the sausage maker. We just do a ton of them really quick. So we're just going to run those through the pitter, separate the pits from the fruit. And that's perfect. We have the pits to the left, our pitted cherries to the right. And as you can see, we're not really doing a whole lot. This is kind of an experiment. I don't want to go all in just to find out that I'm not a big fan of freeze-dried cherries. So we're only doing a couple of pounds in this one batch. I am going to load everything up onto the Blue Alpine tray. We're just using one tray for this particular experiment. And we're not going to do any kind of preparation. Under normal circumstances, you know, one might prick the cherry to give it more breathability, but I want to see if we could produce something respectable with just the 2 holes that we made through the process of pitting it. So I'm going to freeze this before we put it into our freeze dryer. And on the Blue Alpine freeze dryer, there's a couple different options. One is a recipe option. So we're going to click that and take a look at the recipes that they have. And a preset is for fruit. Now you can edit these, everything from the freeze time, the dry time, the temperature, even the pressure if you want on the Blue Alpine. But for this, we're going to keep it mostly the same. I don't need 9 hours of freeze time because we're pre-freezing it, so I can change that. And I will here in a minute. Let's hit continue. The dry temperature for this batch is going to be at 115. Continue again. Okay, there we go. So the freezing cycle's begun. 9 hours counting down. Like I said, we don't need 9 hours. We're putting frozen cherries into the machine. So we're going to bring that down to about 2 hours. I do like to keep at least 1 or 2 hours of freeze time before the drying starts. But on this unit, you can make those changes through the cycle. So once this starts drying, you can change the temperature, you can change the time remaining, increase or decrease it, depending on what's going on, you know, inside your freeze dryer. All right, our cherries are frozen. Our freeze dryer is ready to accept the food. And then we're going to load up our cherries. I'm using the single tray shelf system for the freeze dryer. And that's primarily because we're just doing a test batch. We do a lot of test batches where, you know, we just see how the food performs, how it comes out. We test the settings, and then if we like the end result, we'll then change the shelf out to the bigger shelf and load this baby down. But for right now, one shelf, that's all we're doing. So we're going to close the door, let the freeze dryer run its cycle, and see what happens. Cherries are done. They look great. They've been sitting on the counter for a minute, but the original temp coming out of the dryer was closer to about 105, 106. And they have a nice firm feel to it when I grab them. Very nice. Wasn't sure what to expect with these cherries, but I'm loving what I'm looking at. Let's grab this one right here and give it a taste.
Time to try our freeze-dried cherry. Check it out. Very pleased with the way that came out. At least it looks good. We'll try it here in a minute. One thing that I'm concerned with is whether or not the entrance and exit hole that we made with the pitter was sufficient to allow the moisture to escape. Cherries have a skin, much like grapes and blueberries and Cape gooseberries and fruits like that, that inhibit moisture from escaping. And so often you'll find people who take either rollers or prickers or pokers and they poke it all over so that moisture can escape. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to see if we could take it straight from the pitter to the freeze dryer without a whole lot of fuss and hassle. So we're going to see what that's all about. The end result for a properly freeze-dried piece of food or fruit should be crunchy, right? That just means that all the moisture has been removed and you now have a very crunchy texture. What we don't want is chewy and gummy, all right? So I'm hoping for a crunchy, crispy texture. I've got a big old bowl of them right here in front of me. And let's just give it a bite. Oh, that's delightfully tart. Oh, wow. Not all freeze-dried fruit is amazing. Some fruits work better than others coming out of the freeze dryer. Fig, for instance. Love fresh fig. Not a huge fan of freeze-dried fig. If you're going to eat it as a snack. If you want to preserve it, then it's great. But if you just want to have fruit as a freeze-dried snack, I'm not a huge fan of the freeze-dried version of fig. Blueberries, grapes, dragon fruit, strawberry, bananas, mango, pineapple. Those are all amazing fruits to freeze dry. And cherry, wow, what a flavor power punch. Here we go. I love it. It's tart, it's sweet, the flavor is incredibly concentrated. And this would make an extraordinary snack. Maybe a little bowl of blueberries, dragon fruit, cherries, and strawberries freeze-dried is kind of like a freeze-dried fruit snack. Wow, and maybe even some pineapple to bring in some sweetness and some acidity and some... Oh, that's super good. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. That's delicious. Reminds me of freeze-dried blueberries or even freeze-dried, purple grapes that are a little sweet and tart. Concentrated flavor, great texture, loving that crunchy texture. I'm glad I have a whole bowl of it right here. I should have bought more right at the tail end of the season. Freeze-dried cherries, it's a win in my book. They're crunchy, they're sweet and tart, and we didn't have to do a whole lot of prep work. Unlike some fruit that requires a bunch of prep work, we took them from the pitter to the freeze dryer and done. Now, if you wanted, you could cut the cherries in half after you remove the pit and then put them skin side down. You'd probably end up with a product that dried a little bit faster, equally crunchy, equally delicious. That'd be one way to do it. But this right here, I love the size. It's absolutely beautiful. And not sure if you know this. This is kind of cool information. Cherries are high in vitamin C. That's ascorbic acid. If you take these freeze-dried cherries, run them through your blender, turn it into a powder, and then just store it, you now have an all-natural cure accelerator if you're into making sausage. So the next time you add a curing salt to your sausage, you can add cherry powder to that sausage, and it will naturally accelerate the cure, allowing you to take it from production to cooking all in the same day. Not bad. Okay, I'm kind of dying to know what one rehydrated looks like, so let's just take a couple of these, rehydrate them in some warm water, and then we'll give it a taste.
Bringing in the ramekin. Got some hot water here, a couple freeze-dried cherries. And that's it. We're just going to let them hang out in there for a minute. Actually, probably closer to about 30 minutes to an hour. See how long it takes to rehydrate these. 1 hour later. Okay, look at that. These plumped up quite nicely. Very good. I wasn't sure how they would rehydrate, but these actually look really nice. Let's see what they taste like.
All right, guys, our rehydrated cherry, check it out. That actually rehydrated pretty good. Feels nice. Let's see how it tastes. Okay, that rehydrated better than most other fruits. I can't see the rehydrated version being good in everything. I've got one more right here, but I definitely think this could be used in pies, a beautiful cherry pie, or even ice cream. Like if you had a bunch of freeze-dried cherries, rehydrated them, and then threw them into your recipe. Yeah, this actually would work. Oh, wow. Same beautiful tartness, beautiful flavor. Not quite as crisp, obviously, as the fresh version, but it's not bad. It kind of tastes just more like a slightly cooked, like a cooked cherry. Yeah, that'd be a great way to describe it. All right, thanks for watching today's freeze-dried cherry video. If you want any information on the freeze dryer that we used in today's video, be sure to check the description box below. I'll put a link to their company. There's also a discount code in the event that you choose to buy one. You can save a couple bucks off your order. Let me know also in the comment section below what you would like to see me freeze-dried next. We have an entire meal prep freeze-dried series that's on the horizon. We've been doing freeze-dried kind of like MREs for quite some time now. And unlike most YouTube videos, I don't want to just freeze-dry something and then immediately heat it up. And so some of these have been sitting in our cabinet for 2 years, and we're just about ready to crack open those package and see what our MREs taste like 2 years later. So if you're into long-term food storage, meal prep, things like that, freeze drying food, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And if you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up. If this is the first video that you've seen from our channel, let me tell you what we've got coming up in about 2 weeks. Every October, we've done this for about 5 years now, we do a series called Celebrate Sausage, where through the month of October, Sausage Month, we upload a brand new sausage making video every single day through the entire month. That's 31 episodes. This year, we're giving away smokers. We're giving away sausage stuffers, a lot of sausage making bundles. And so if you are into the art and craft of charcuterie, making your own sausage, processing meat, or if you think that kind of stuff is interesting, hit that subscribe button because I don't want you to miss a single episode. Matter of fact, here in just a little while, we're going to be dropping the trailer for season 6. It's absolutely epic. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Mm-hmm.